Hey everybody, so I wanted to make a quick video here because I just finished up a Q&A for my upcoming immersion happening in the fall, Becoming the Living Prayer. It's my Kundalini leadership program and immersion. And I wanted to speak to one of the questions that came up in this particular group, and it comes up all the time when I talk about Kundalini yoga. And it's this question: is Kundalini dangerous? And the answer is yes and no. So we've all, maybe, or many of us, have heard about kind of spontaneous arisings of Kundalini that create an incredible amount of intensity. Maybe there's been physical pain or mental destabilization. Some have reported that, and that's a really real issue and concern. So that can happen. However, it doesn't have to be that way. So Kundalini Shakti is a subtle energy that is actually neutral, and it can be compared to electricity. And it really depends on the design of the individual, right? How that particular person is affected by the rising of the Shakti. So keeping that in mind, it's dependent on the person. And actually what happens as we practice these kriyas and meditations is that the traumas, the imprint of traumas, gets stored in the subtle bodies. And part of the design of these practices is to release those obstructions. So we might go through certain periods of discomfort, right? But that's because those traumas and those patterns are being disrupted and released. What happens is that people blame the Kundalini Shakti for the discomfort when it's really the error, so to speak, that's in your own subtle body that's being repatterned and restored back to wholeness. Yeah, so the other thing that I like to explain is, just like you wouldn't want to run 1,000 volts of energy through a home that's only wired for 100 volts, you have to prepare the body and mind for the rising of the Shakti. And that is what Kundalini yoga practices do. Right? We're purifying the physical body. We're balancing the glandular system and strengthening the nervous system so that when the Kundalini does rise, it's more graceful, right? And actually, it can be very pleasurable and enjoyable. And it's meant to be gradual, right? We want a sustainable awakening process. We're not looking for something that's intense and then dissipates, right? So we're looking to kind of maintain this practice that helps us to really build our frequency, to be able to hold a higher voltage of energy. And this is why, too, it's really important to do your best to live a healthy lifestyle in general, to eat well, to drink plenty of water, to get outside, to be in nature, right? Just to kind of help support this process so that it can be as pleasurable and enjoyable as it can be. And then I'll also say kind of the traditional response that was given when asked, is Kundalini dangerous? It was, yes, it's very dangerous, because somebody whose Kundalini has been awakened, it's impossible to manipulate or control them. So in that case, it can potentially be a threat or a danger to some. So hope that that's helpful for you. If you have any other questions that you're curious about, would like an answer to, please ask, and I'll do my best to speak to it. All right, Satnam.